Alright. Are we good? We good to go? Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Slate In. This is a special edition with Mr. Ken and Mr. James. So, hello Mr. Ken, hello Mr. James. Thank you so much for joining our podcast, Slate In Podcast. Yeah, there's so many podcasts in between, don't worry. But it's actually just Slate In Podcast. My name is VARMAN and I am your host today. Usually we'll be having another co-host, AFIF, since he's down with COVID, so he couldn't make it. Thank you so much again for coming. Can you just introduce yourself, who are you guys and what you guys do for a living?
Thank you for having us. My name is Kenkin. I'm the producer. I'm the director for Pendatang. Yeah.
Okay. Pendatang, this one?
Yes, Pendatang, the film is going to be coming out on YouTube on the 21st.
On 21st. And you, Mr. James?
I'm James. I'm one of the co-producers of Pendatang. And I almost wanted to say I'm director, but yeah. So yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let me just begin with asking, how are you guys feeling about Pendatang coming into YouTube on 21st? How are you guys ready to see the audience reaction? I mean, of course, you guys had private screenings and festival screenings and all that, but this is going to be to a mass audience. How are you guys feeling about this film Pendatang? To be, the audience would react to this film, this kind of films. It's a pretty interesting film because we watched the first 30 minutes during C Shots.
Oh, you did?
I was there. Yeah, I was the volunteer in C Shots, and I would say it's mind blowing. First 30 minutes itself is mind blowing. It's 27 minutes itself.
Yeah.
So, how are you guys feeling about it? Like the audience to react, and what's your personal feeling for it?
Yeah, like you say, based on the few private screenings that we had, and also the recent JAUHARI Festival, the reaction that we got was really good. Like basically, everyone who walked out of the cinema had a very fulfilling experience. I think people are also quite blown away by how low budget it was done with, and also the time frame we had to shoot it. And therefore, I'm very excited to see the reaction from the public when it's released.
See, how about for you, Mr. James?
Yeah, it's something to really look forward to because it's actually a milestone of sorts, right? This is the first time that a movie is fully crowdfunded. This is the first time that a lot of people got together and contributed more than expected to make a movie happen. And during the screenings, initial screenings, even the screenings before we screen, internally, it was like, wow, this happened, right? And a lot of people put the faith into this project in terms of backing money and all that, and based simply on the pitch and the idea and the team. So. And it's always at the back of my mind, at back of their minds, right? I hope they don't screw this up. I hope they do a good job. I hope they don't take our money and run and buy a BMW. Of course, the total money also cannot buy that. And I look forward to them actually saying that, hey, yeah, I think they'll feel that their money was well spent.
I see.
And for other people who see it for the first time to say, wow. Malaysian, and they did this. That means maybe we can do it too, and that is the point. Yeah.
I see. Right, but then so this film, right? It's solely crowdfunded, right? As you have mentioned. I mean, to what we have known and heard when people talk around about it, it's fully crowdfunded, right? How was this? How would say this process of making this film into a crowdfunded film, fully a crowdfunded film, Mr. James? Because to what I heard, you were pulled into this solely for helping Mr. Ame and Elise, producer as well, right? To help them crowdfund this film.
Well, don't believe what you say. Don't believe everything you hear.
Okay.
But more or less, yes.
Yes, more or less.
Yeah. So this the crowd fund wasn't. It didn't come in like, okay, we want to make a crowdfunded film, and let's come up with a concept. Okay. It was, we have this script that deserves to be shot and made authentic and truthful to it. What are our choices in terms of funding? Because it touches an issue that, when you come down to it, even the word pendatang, people are like, when they hear the word pendatang, right? And when you see the movie later, it is not such a sensitive thing. It is a story about humanity. But because most people, even if they hear something, oh, you talk about race, oh, you talk about pendatang, they won't touch it. They won't go near it, right? So, and even then, even if they choose to want to go near it, there's a very high likelihood that a backer like that or a massive funder will come and say, I want you to change this. I want you to change that. You have to cut this because I want to put this in the cinema and all that. Oh yeah, we agreed on YouTube, but no. I think we... So there's a lot of things that we thought that, okay, let's avoid all this. Focus on making the movie for the movie's sake. What's the best way to do it? Crowdfunding. So crowdfunding came as like, in order to do this, what options do we have? The traditional options all had restrictions. So crowdfunding was the only option that we believe that gave Ken a free hand. And I think it did. Basically, Ken, you more or less you had a free hand on this, right?
Yeah, definitely. In a lot of projects with different parties, there's always a certain set of restrictions that you have to follow or lie on. So in this case, really believe that this project deserves our full creative control. So therefore, the crowdfunding platform, and also it's a good way also to gauge if people want to support something like this. So the fact that the crowdfunding was a success actually tells us that Malaysian want this kind of stories. Yeah.
Was it easy for the crowdfunding for you guys?
Well, a lot of work has to be done before that to get it ready. But in all things like this, you don't really know what the results are. So you just got to do what you do, right? So if you say it's whether it's hard or easy, there's two parts: what you do and the results. What you do, we just did. So don't really think about hard. Just get the word out there, get people interested, get people, whether they will support or not, it's out of our hands, right? But of course, at behind our minds, it's like, hey, why so slow? The money didn't come in. So, but keep doing. Don't give up, right?
Yep.
And it's only at the end that the hockey stick went up and picked up. So for a few reasons, I wish Ami was here. He could give you a much better explanation for this. But one of the factors is that it takes time to build. There's always an inflection point. And people do say that I want to contribute. I'm not sure yet. Hey, but my friend contributed. Okay lah, I also contribute. And people are talking about it and all that. So it goes up, and then reaching the right people. I'm going to paraphrase Ami right now, right? Ami, sorry, man. I hope you don't mind. He actually shared it with this group of people of WhatsApp, and at that time, he says, "Hey, we got this movie. Can you support us?" And this guy then shared this group of on WhatsApp and all. And right at that time, the Mat Kilau was out, right? So and it was funny because it was like the Ami's friend actually just shared with the rest of the groups who are backers and in the industry, say that, this is a movie. Do you want to make Do you want to make a movie that's different from Mat Kilau? Support this, and boom! And suddenly it went up. So I don't know. Maybe it's a combination. But to me, and I don't I'm not Amir, but to me it shows that there is a demand or desire for things to be done differently. You know, we always look at the screen. I wish there was a movie that didn't do this, didn't do that, and somehow, and then this opportunity came about, and we gave people a chance to say, hey, make this real, and they did.
I see. Yeah, Mr. Ken, I also found out, right? Okay, this is me again going to IMDb, okay? Okay, suddenly they all ask me to do hosting by myself, of course. Usually, I'll be the one who talks, but Afif is the one who would give me all the information, you know? So this time I had to do it by myself. So, I found out that, is this your first feature?
Yes, this is my first feature film. Yeah.
But before this, you worked on anthology. Yes, am I right?
The anthology was like 10 years ago.
In 2013, yes.
Yeah. So there was an initiative by James Lee, also another Malaysian indie filmmaker. He produced a series of anthologies in that 2 to 3 years time. So my batch was the first one, where he commissioned 3 directors to come up with short horror stories.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was part of the first anthology.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you like making horror film?
Yes, actually I enjoy all the different genres, but
Okay.
for some reason a lot of people approach me to do horror. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but watching the first 27 minutes of Pendatang, right, it kind of gave Parasite vibes. Do you have any interconnection of, you know, was that mostly your motivation to making this film, or how?
Yeah, actually I've heard that the comment
yeah.
from more than one person.
Yeah.
But I personally don't see anything that is too close. Initially, when I thought about doing this film, we talk about some references, like
Okay.
which are the film the closest to this, and we did have a few throw on the table. But to me personally, ultimately, I couldn't find any one film that I say yes, this is our reference. So I took that opportunity, like, okay, not to like too stress about it if we couldn't find like a reference for it. In a way, it is actually better. So meaning we have a free hand, so we can create from fresh. So that actually plays a big part of how the film looks and all, because from the budget we had to work with. Basically, my job is to make sure like with this budget we could complete the film, right? So there are many factors that I have to look at in order to achieve that. So to me, there is not much point if we have a really, really good reference, but we don't have the budget to emulate it. No point, right?
True.
So might as well I reverse engineer the whole thing lah.
Okay.
You know, with this budget that we have, what can we do? You know, so it started from there. So basically, the look of the film, the look and feel of the film is like tailor-made for it lah. You know, with the budget, with the location we have, with the cast we have. So we work from there.
I see. Okay, Mr. James, your coffee is here already.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and Mr. Ken, yes.
It's actually quite high praise to say give Parasite vibes. You know?
Yeah.
I see.
It's very high praise.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
come on, Parasite, man. You're talking about the movie.
But I understand the similarities, like why people like compare, because it's about family, going to a new house.
Even the
that kind of
colors
stuff.
also, you know, sometimes like the vibe. Because like, did you know that I actually watched Parasite only, I think, this year? This year beginning. Because
you didn't watch on the big screen?
No, okay, the best part was that it was this year beginning, because I had film study too. I think Mr. Eddie IZHAN is the one who was teaching me. And somehow in his class he screened Parasite. So I technically watched it on big screen in cinema.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Good movie, man.
Good for you.
I was like lucky, you know, because so many people have been telling me watch Parasite, but I just never had that, you know, pull to it. And that time when I want to watch, it's already in small screen. I was like, no, I'm
Yeah.
going to wait for that time where we can watch it in big screen again. And lucky, and this one.
So it's still quite fresh lah.
It's quite
in your
fresh,
mind.
yes, that's why. I was
So
like,
can you imagine? I'm not sure whether you read about this lah. The house in Parasite. Actually, they didn't find a house and thought, okay, let's shoot it in this house.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually built the house for it.
yes, exactly. And you know, I actually bought the cinematography book of Bong Joon-ho, how he actually thought of this concept and everything. I have that and cinematography book, so I always read about it and all that. So that's why when I saw the first 27 minutes, I was like, oh my goodness, this feels so fresh out of. It felt like the Parasite's vibe. It gave me the creep. It gave me like that something bad is gonna happen. I'm gonna go like this.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah. I was like waiting for something, and then it's like quite slow. The color tone already, I could feel like something's gonna go. So when I was watching in C shots, I was just like trying to see, but okay lah. So that's why I was like, I know it's a very general audience kind of thing lah, mindset. You know, when they say like, hey, it feels like Parasite. Then I started discussing with my friends, like you know, some of our fellow filmmaker friends lah, and we were just discussing, and they were like, yeah, the vibe is like. And I was like waiting for the opportunity to ask you. That's how the concept comes up lah. But yeah, good to know, good to see that you actually didn't have any reference lah.
Yeah, ultimately no.
I just want to add that whatever you see on screen later on, it is Ken's vision. You know, with what he had and what the resources that he had, and with the team that he had, he just came up with what to me is his vision, right? Even Boon Xiang was looking and saying, you know. So the writer is like, we all when they read the script, we all have a slightly different vision, right? But when you watch the movie, you can be assured that it's not like this director influence, that director influence. It's just him lah. It's his vision.
Yeah. So you didn't, as a co-producer, right, Mr. James? Did you have any, how do you say? Did you join in the creative decision parts of it, of this film, or I mean, straight up just Mr. Ken? Is it?
I think every in a movie production, right? Everybody plays a role, and people work best when you know you're the expert. Leave them be. Give a safe space for them to express their potential. And we spoke about this in Jogja, right? About how you gave the actors the same.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can. I think that's a very good point. You maybe you can share that how you know about.
So one thing that people love working with Ami or Kuman Pictures in this case is because he really trusts you and give you the free reins, so to speak, in terms, especially when it comes to creativity. So that's like almost every filmmaker's dream to have this kind of executive producer, so to speak. So I understand that he is giving me like a very big trust as a first film. It's my first film, and also for such a not a big project, but a project that will definitely gets talked a lot for the fact that it's a crowdfunded film and all that.
Yep.
So I really appreciate the trust that he has given me to helm the project. And I was thinking, because the entire campaign about the entire film is sort of about giving chance to people.
Yeah.
Like just because we all believe in the script that is so good that everybody wants to like see it being visualized. So the backers gave us a chance to do this film, right? By giving us the money, and then Ami give me the chance to direct it. So I thought this is kind of project that it should keep happening. So I like forwarded the trust to basically everyone in the team as well. In terms of their creative input and how they want to do, like the actors, how they want to create the characters, like the DP, how the film is going to be like, and the art department, the wardrobe designer. So basically, I give them a lot of creative input. I just like told them, okay, this is my brief is very short to all the department heads, because I want them to come up with a lot of stuff. Because the fact that they agreed to be on board of this project actually already speaks a lot.
Yeah, understand.
Because nobody gets like a normal rate for this project. Everybody gets like a basically more like a token than anything else.
Understand.
And that says a lot. The fact that you are willing to come on board already says a lot. So what I can give in return is to appreciate your expertise, your creativity. So I give you a lot of room to come up with like stuff you really want to do lah. Because in a lot of more commercial projects, I think it works for like it goes like for every department. It's very hard for you to like really give all that you want for that one particular project. There's always going to be restrictions here and there. I'm not saying that we don't have restrictions. Our restrictions are mostly on budget. That's it.
Understand?
Yeah. Anything else that you're free to suggest, I think it works for the film. Then yes,
Go for it. Yeah.
yeah, go for it. You know. So I think that's why you could actually feel it when they see the film that every department shines. Basically.
Understand. But was it like difficult though? Like, you know how they say like one film must have one head kind of thing. Like everyone has their own ideas, but like how do you come and correlate
Yes.
with that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the one vision is very important. It is because we have one vision,
Yep.
then it's easy to work the details out.
Yep.
Yeah. So for example, when I talked to my DP Dixie prior to shooting the film, I want to know his thoughts. So I asked him out for lunch. So when we met, he asked me, so how do you want to shoot this film? I said, no, you tell me first. You read the script. You tell me how do you see this film? Yeah, because I don't want to like.
Don't want to like try to change his.
I want to hear
opinion.
what he has to say first.
I see.
Yeah. So the way he speaks about it, the way he sees it, is exactly how I saw it. So like yes, that means we are seeing the same film. So
Okay.
so like I was like very like glad that happened, because a lot of issues can already be like solved very quickly
Yep.
if you are seeing the same film
I
from
see.
the very beginning.
Beginning.
Yeah. So the things that you actually need to tweak along the way we have definitely, but it's not gonna like take down half a day just to like discuss why are we not doing this way, like
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
Understand. I see. Okay. Yeah.
To
Sorry.
add on to that and to Ken's credit, so when we first saw the first screening at your place, the first screening without the
offline.
the offline, right? Okay. I went through it and for me, it was like, okay, I come from a movie goer perspective.
Okay.
Okay, and to me, I go to movies for certain things, and there are certain and sometimes when certain things don't make sense or whatever kind of stuff like that, I would say, why did they do that? Or sometimes also I ask, is the middle act, basically the second act, really dragged down or third? So during that time, I actually sat down and okay, put down my points. Okay, from a moviegoer's perspective, not a creative perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how I feel about the movie, and we did sit down. And to Ken's credit, he didn't see me as, you're trying to tell me how you would like to show the film. A lot of people would have that ego issue.
Yeah. Understood.
Okay, ego
Understandable.
issue, right? So I sat down and said, okay, from a moviegoer's perspective, this is what I like. This one I got confused just a bit. So that was the extent. We sat down over lunch, and that was the extent of my contribution. Because at the end of the day, I'm giving you feedback, but it's your movie.
Yeah.
You know, and to Ken's credit, he listened, and then okay, and just feedback. And I think that's important to listen to feedback. It doesn't mean you have to follow it, but it's good to know what other people
are
think,
thinking.
you
Yeah.
know,
Understand.
especially if of course there'll be some people who always want to whack you for the sense of whacking you, but if you're in a team working together, you sort of know that people are not out to whack you because they want the best thing for it.
Yeah. True.
It may not be the best solution, but it all comes from the same place of wanting the best product. So that was I think the extent of creative inputs. It was not so much how to shoot a scene, but sort of like how did it make me feel as an audience.
So this is like already time. How do you say? This is the time already in post credit, like as in like already post production already, lah.
Yeah, offline.
Offline already. Yeah.
No, was it offline? Before it went to offline, right?
The offline cut lah. It was still in the offline stage lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't locked the picture yet.
Yeah.
I see.
No music some more.
Yeah.
Well, music plays a big difference,
I
man.
see. I see. Actually, you know what? That's the difference. You know that we learn. Like we try to learn that how we don't try to show emotions by music. But I like how it's so different here. Also, like how you guys say music plays a difference in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me. I think I don't understand. You know, so for me, at the end of the day, to convey a message and all that kind of stuff, you use audio, you use visual, you use everything, right? Sometimes you don't even use color; it's black and white, right?
Yeah.
But it depends on what you're trying to convey, and most of the time, for in Pendatang, like even the music, do you use it sparingly or do you do a Dune approach, like bang, you know, or whatever? So, but in this case, it made a big impact because it made a big impact because it sort of made it flow better emotionally for me. You know, so
See.
yeah.
See. How about you? For you, Mr. Ken, does music play a big role in?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can continue first from just now I was telling about extending the trust to people.
Yeah. Yep.
So our music composer for Pendatang, Tia Wei Yin, this is her first time composing for a feature film.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met her on set a few years ago. She was doing data wrangling.
Okay.
And then throughout the shoot, we get to know each other, like small talk here and there. Then I found out that she actually does music as well on the side. And that's really her passion. That's what she wants to do, like a sound artist. So I asked her to send me some stuff to check it out. And she did. And upon hearing her music, I actually thought, yeah, this is like a very talented person who can like work on long form, perhaps. So again, back to like Ami give me a chance, like no experience, like no feature film that experience before. So what was gonna like stop me from like giving the chance to somebody else?
Yeah, understand. Yeah.
So for me, as long as you trust the person's taste.
Yep.
And also their personality, so that there's where like getting to know a person is important. You sit down and talk whether you are like vibing, where you vibe same or not.
Yeah.
Are you the same wavelength, that kind of stuff. And then she was like brave enough to take on the challenge. She said, yes, I'll do it. So in fact, one of the sequence in the film was actually inspired by her earlier music. Yeah. So when I was reading the script, I was thinking, how should I shoot this particular sequence? And then I was listening to her stuff, and then that her own music like triggered me, like suddenly give me a vision, like visual, like wow, exactly, yeah. Now I should it.
Steady, yeah.
So you see how this works.
Yeah,
so amazing. And then same goes for Chloe, our editor.
Okay.
She's an alumni here.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think this is her first time also like editing a feature.
Wow.
On her own. I think she did another one with her brother, so co-editor. But I have to convince her basically to edit this one. Also, I believe in her capability and her taste. At first, she was quite reluctant. So to speak to her a few times, and then she finally said yes. So again, that is like extending the trust to different people. That goes for the same goes for the cast as well. Some of our cast are like relatively new, not much experience.
I see.
But for some reason, I have the gut feeling to trust them that they can do the job. Yeah.
How was it like, I mean, like meeting, no, how do you choose your cast? Like, how do you like sense that, okay, this cast can do it?
Yeah. First, I give priority to those who send in their audition tapes.
Okay.
Because we did have a call for audition.
Okay.
So, to respect their effort and time, I give those who send in their tapes the priority. And basically, it's just that. So basically, I selected some scenes from the script. So for them to act out. So it's up to them, like who they want to play. So this scene is for da. So I judge from there. So some of the acting you can tell is not really there, but somehow I see the character in them. maybe it's through their voice or their mannerism, that I could see, okay, this is a potential, you know.
Potential person,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I shortlist, and then I will go over my shortlist, and then see again. Like from there, it's really gut feelings because I've never met them in real life. So based on that, for example, like Mei Jun is the who plays the mother. Is someone who has been in the local TV industry and film industry for some time. But I've never worked with her before. And I was, from the moment I read the script, already have her in mind to a certain extent. Someone who can like anchor the film as a mother, the most important person in the film to hold the family together. And I see that she had that charisma. She has that charisma. And so now when I was thinking about that, a filmmaker friend messaged me on Facebook. He said, "Hey, I see you're calling for auditions. You want to like ask Mei Jun to try or not? You know, I can ask her to send."
Okay.
He's like,
Suddenly
yes,
it's got-
yeah.
Yeah, I see. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that, ah. Wow. Okay. On interval lah. On the chat. Okay. Walao. Thought already interval. Okay. Now interval. Okay. So we're gonna have a 15 minutes break first. You know, maybe you guys can walk around or drink some more coffee. If you guys want more coffee, also can. Then we can get back to this. So yeah, if we had a sponsorship, we would usually place it here in the ad lah, in the edit. But since we haven't had any sponsorship, so this interval break is just cutting to the next scene already lah. Okay, bye. See you guys later. Alright, welcome back to the second half of the podcast, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my editor will not put this in anyway. But okay, let me start again. Mr. Ken and James. Yeah.
Can he call you Ken? Rather than Mr. Ken?
Okay. I don't know, I'll try. Somehow the Mr. and Sir will slip in back, you know.
It's weird when the Sir it's
Because
like,
they're students.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they call everyone sir.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know,
Selamat
goes.
pagi, cikgu. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So I stick to Mr. Ken. Alright,
Right.
okay. So, Mr. Ken, can you tell a bit more of your childhood? You know, how your childhood can relate to your filmmaking style? You know, like, did you always want to be a director since you were small? Or you decided to do directing after you became like a maybe teenager? Or, you know, whenever your parents ask what you want to be when you grow up kind of thing. So how did you start this journey of I want to be a director?
Okay, I come from Ipoh, Perak. So when I was young, my family had a kopitiam right in the middle of town. And opposite of our kopitiam, there used to be a Rex cinema.
A Rex cinema?
Yeah.
You mean
The
like
Rex KL, the
Rex-
standalone cinema.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So during that time, you have like Rex, you have Lido, Cathay, Capital, and so they are like a chain also.
Okay.
So right opposite my house was a Rex cinema.
Okay.
So from very young on, I would get smuggled into the cinema either by my parents or by my brothers, or even sometimes by the guy who jaga ticket. You know, when he came over to tapau with his drink, my mother was like, "Hey, nanti Ken pergi tengok wayang ah." Yeah, like, So okay, so he would get a free drink, and I would get a free screen.
But why smuggle? Why cannot just... Was it like age restriction or what? Or were you just too small?
Yeah, I think that is part of it, and also when you can get something for free. So I think the time you're buying a ticket will cost you like 3 ringgit or 3.50, which is like considered a lot like for a child.
Understand.
And the reason why I wanted to watch a film is not because I really wanted to watch a film. It's just like entertainment. You know, like a kid, you find all these fun things to do. Yeah. So from very young on, I've been like going to the cinema very often. But to become a filmmaker was never something that you would want to consider seriously, especially in a place like Ipoh.
I understand.
Yeah, when there's no such industry exists. So my next closest thing that I wanted to do was actually I really listening to music, but I can't play any instruments. So I was thinking probably like being the guy behind the console would be the closest that I could get to mixing. So I actually did a diploma in audio engineering.
Okay.
That landed me a job in Astro when it first opened. And actually, it was in Astro that I was exposed to all these cameras, how like productions were done. That actually, my interest got piqued again. Like suddenly, like all these like years of watching films, suddenly like, now maybe I can like consider to make my own.
Jumping this one, yeah.
Yeah, with all this like technical knowledge that you pick up along the way. It's not that I know everything like by reading a manual or what. Basically, just ask those people in the department, you know, people in the camera department. You ask about them, about how camera works, blah blah blah. All these little basics, and then I took a very short online film appreciation course just to like buff up my theory on the cinema side of things. And then after that, I just thought that okay, maybe I'm ready to like venture out. So I quit and came out to make my short films. So in that few years, I made quite a number of short films as a practice. And then eventually, someone approached me and asked, "Would you like to like co-direct a TV series with me?"
Okay.
So like yeah, why not? So
TV series.
yeah, so that's when I started directing TV series, like all the way until now lah. So feature was like probably lost somewhere in the middle of all this. Yeah, but and then last year this happened. You know, like the army whom I know for like I think more than close to 20 years perhaps. When I was doing my short films, I already know Amir. So we always kept in touch. And from time to time, he will ask, "So, when is your next feature? When is your feature coming?" Yeah, because I never had an answer. Yeah, because I never had an answer. So I'm so glad that one day he passed me this script and I said, "Yeah, this is gonna be it." Yeah.
At which point were you doing sound?
In my early 20s.
For films or like for events?
Basically, if you're in a sound department in a TV station, you basically do everything.
Okay.
Like from news,
Okay.
set up like this, like interview in the studio. You have your variety show. We have your sports show. We have your singing contest. You have your reality show. Basically everything lah. So that actually was thinking back it was a very good training ground for me to step into directing, because when you are on set a lot of times, you're exposed to all these different departments, and we should always like take advantage of it by observing what people do.
I
you know,
see, yeah.
rather than make sure your own job scope is covered lah.
Yeah,
You know,
true,
so after that is done, then you can start like thinking, okay, what is this guy doing? You know, like try to observe. Actually, because I didn't come from like a proper film school, so my film school is sort of like on set.
On set.
Yeah,
I see.
where I go and do sound for other people, but I observe what each and every director does differently. Why such a scene, like makan scene, why is this director shooting this way, and like next time why is it another director shooting that way?
I
Yeah,
see.
so you sort of like
Pick up from.
pick up lah.
Are you more into like the creative side? Like how do we say? Like are you more into like the technical aspects or more into the creative side? You know, when you observe, sometimes you'll be like, oh, so he's using like a 35mm with this lighting, that's why it makes it look like this.
Yeah.
Or do you think like, oh, that's why this angle is this way, so this story tells something.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
more into which side of it, creative or this technical aspect?
I think when you have watched enough films, it become like a second nature. Like how we watch films with subtitles, we don't consciously think that we are like, wow, we have to shift our eyes, how lah, you know.
Yeah.
But somehow you just can do it.
Yep.
So I think watching movies are like that as well. But I always watch a film as an audience first. Yeah, I want to be entertained by the story and everything. And if it's something that I really enjoy, I really like it so much, I will like watch it again. But this time, more probably like pay more attention to the technical side of things. But most of the time, it's like you're doing like two different things at the same time lah. Yeah.
See, How about you, James?
Yes.
Wow, I feel so wrong. You know what? I feel so wrong. I'm just
Okay,
going to come
call
back
me-
to
call me Mr. James.
Yes. Feels so wrong, you know? Oh my goodness. I felt so disrespected. I felt like disrespected you as soon as I said Miss James, you know? Right. How about you, Mr. James?
Yes.
Can you tell a bit more of your childhood as well? Like, where did you grow up from? And how can you, like, what did you do that it became that you're producing now itself, you know?
Okay. In this case, I mentioned earlier that I'm sort of like an accidental producer. My background is this. I mean, my childhood. I grew up in KL, and I've always been into creativity and arts and all that. But similar to what Kenkin said, I love music. I love movies. I love all this kind of stuff. But I didn't have the skills. So I think so I could appreciate it, but I tried in different ways, but somehow you're just not, that that's not where you want to go, or that's where you're good at, and the magic, I mean, the movies has always been with me, the magic of it all. I remember the first time I actually, like, your cinema's Rex, right? My cinema, the in section 17 was Sentosa.
Okay.
Sentosa Cinema, right? So back then the cinemas was an epic experience. Okay, it's not like the cineplexes now. It's a standalone. It's a standalone. Usually there are 3 classes.
Okay.
Okay, first class, second class, third class. You want a date, you go first class, which is upstairs.
Okay.
Okay, second class is downstairs in the middle, and the third class is right in front of the screen.
This is like theater kind of cinema, is it? Like
Yeah,
where they
it's-
have the top and bottom and
Yeah, so on the
okay.
top and you can
Okay.
look down and all that, right? And your time was 3 ringgit. I remember back then third class when I was a kid was 80 cents. Ooh. All right.
Goodness, okay.
Second class 150. If
I could be wrong though.
Yeah. And I remember it's like, wow, you want to go dating, then you pay for 2 ringgit over 3 ringgit to sit upstairs, So, anyways, but I remember this time, I walked in. It's to an afternoon show. It was 3 p.m. show, and I didn't know what movie that was about. I looked at the poster because back then no trailers. You just look at the poster and the stills, right? So I walked in, and I came out mind blown. It was the first time I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
I came out on the cinema. I said, I've never felt like this before. The impact it had on me was like, my God, what did I just experience, right? And from that on, it's always been this magic that cinema and films make you feel, make you think, and all that. But then my career is, I ended up, okay, I became an accountant, an auditor, and then I started doing consulting, and I dipped into different industries. So like I helped Tony Fernandez take over Air Asia. Initially, back in those days, I set up the mobile interactive platform for Astro. I brought the first game develop next gen back then was PS3. Next gen game developer into Malaysia. Codemasters, now EA.
Okay.
EA Codemasters. And then did a few things. I launched P1's wireless broadband. I did
Okay.
TM's VB community, blah 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 blah. And recently, I think not even recently. Then I actually helped bring Sony into Malaysia, the Sony Game Development Studio.
Wow.
Okay, so I worked with them, and they came into Malaysia. It's the first studio they set up in this part of the world. So I've always done in different things, and I've worked with different people. Similarly, when I work with different people, I like to learn. So I work with marketing people. I work with customer service, product development, and all that. And because of that, I sort of got a perspective from different angles. And also, I like seeing creative people work because they can do something I can't. They are like creating magic. They're
True,
creating
true.
magic, right?
Understandable.
So I
Yeah.
can't. I can just enjoy the magic, and so and somehow it put me in a situation whereby, because of my love for this, and I see different angles from the creative side also. When I was with P1, I ended up working with PTO, and we got 15 Malaysia up. the
Okay.
first the anthology, and then after that, couple of years ago, I don't know how many years ago, when I launched Weeby Community for TM, I got sort of James Lee's KL Zombies 24 funded.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so during the 15 Malaysia days, that's where I met people like Amir and Tan Chui Mui and Pete Teo and all the directors, but I know I'm not in that industry.
Understand?
Okay, so it was very flattering also that when Amir came up to me and said, "Hey James, would you like to read the script?" And I always felt like I'm the outsider, but somehow, the team has sort of embraced me. It's like, and that's when that's why I said, okay, movie making. There's a lot of different parts of it, The creative side is one thing, and then the production side, and then the producers, and then even the accountants or the wardrobe and all that. So everybody plays a part, and I'm glad to have been given a chance to play a part for Pendatang. So I focus on two things. Initially was about how to get it funded, do what I can, and second is when it's launched, how to get it to reach as many people as possible. So that's what my job is cut up for me now.
I see. Well, it's quite a long journey, Like you were doing a lot of various things before you
Yeah,
come
it's
to...
jack of all trades, man.
Wow, it's insane.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I want to know. I kind of had this curiosity after making a film, right? Not first thing, but mostly people would say like they would rather go to the cinema to play the film, sell the film, and all that. But why did you guys think of putting it in YouTube? Like, is it because you wanted to make sure everyone can watch, or is it like, yeah? Why? Just why you want to put into use? You point at him, he point at you.
So when the first the idea came about, okay, so the first thing was the script.
Okay.
So you look at the script and damn, this script should be made as it is with minimal restrictions. Second is then you look at the goal. How do we want this movie made, and what do we want this movie to do? What is the goal of this movie, right? And when it became clear that it needed to be shot as it is and told as it is, even though it is a subject that many would consider sensitive, okay, and many would insist on cutting certain things like what happened in Tiger Stripes. Have you seen Tiger Stripes?
No.
Yeah.
Because the timings were so
Okay.
this one,
But
what I heard is that they censored a lot,
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's always reasons for that. Like for example, to me, one of the scenes they cut off was the girl washing blood off her pad. Okay, and to me, that's a slice of life.
Yep.
Right.
Understandable. Yep.
But for whatever reasons, it could be offensive or whatever like that. So the Malaysian version were cut off. I saw the
It's the one in
version in
Singapore.
Jogja.
Oh, okay, Jogja.
I saw it in
okay.
Jogja, right? So we'll never know. So, but we wanted to have it done it this way, and the second was that we wanted this to reach as many people as possible, because at the end of the day, this is a story that's actually quite close to our hearts. Like when you read the script, it's like, why do you feel for it? It's not just a story. It is a story that we see parts of ourselves inside. The fears that we have that are not mentioned, right? So they said, then we said, okay, let's go for crowdfunding, okay? And then when we decided, okay, let's do crowdfunding, and how we go distribute it, the goal is for as many people as watch it as possible, or is the goal to make money? It's as simple. We took money from we are taking money from people who back this movie. Are we using their money to make money for ourselves, or is there a different reason? So it was very clear from the start that the reason wasn't making money for ourselves. The reason was we are custodians of sort of like, you help us tell your story, so we're gonna tell this story for you, and not just for you. So it's your gift as the backer to other people, all around the world, Malaysians and non-Malaysians, right? So that's the reason why we decided to go for YouTube, and and also from day one we said we're going to switch off our monetization. So we're not gonna run any ads and revenue share. So there'll be zero income from this.
Understand?
Zero income. Still unsure whether there'll still be ads served, but we will not be. We switch off where there'll be no ads where we can make income. So at the end of the day, it is the ROI, the return of this, is for it to reach as many people as possible and for them to feel a sense of connectedness, right? And so that's what the team and the backers are sort of like giving. It's a gift. It's a love letter of sorts to the Malaysian situation. So yeah, that's why YouTube. Once you take money out of the equation, suddenly we can do other things.
Understand?
Right?
Understand? Yeah. Interesting. So that's how it goes. Okay, to actually finish off this episode, I have a question. I mean, I have like this curiosity and question that was actually placed into my head from my producer. You know, as a film student, there's always that question of what makes a good and impactful story, but there's also that fear of pushing the boundaries when it comes to storytelling. How did both of you walk that line between what could be done in it and what could be done in filmmaking? You know, so yeah, this is a question that I think it would be nice to get your two opinions.
You start first, huh?
The first part is
Why, Sufina? Why you ask this long question? Okay, all right. So as a film student, there is always that question of what makes a good and impactful story, but there's also that fear of pushing your boundaries when coming to storytelling. You know.
oh
Yeah. So how did you like walk between this pushing the boundaries and making a good story?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think yes. The first part is actually it still comes from the script lah. I believe if the script itself has that kind of those elements that make up a real story, be it like plot or characters or what, it could be any of those things, or it could be a combination of everything, then you will have a very solid start from the beginning. If the script is already like there, then there's not so much you have to do. But then if it's not, then you will have to go through like drafts, try to like flash the good ones out, and then like actually like throw the bad ones, and then like put in the new good ones and stuff like to make it work. So I don't think there's a particular formula for it per se. Like every film is just, or every script is just different from one another. Yeah, you have to see it as a different case. And how do we manage to walk this tightrope? Actually, we don't know yet. Like we will only know when it comes released on for the public on the 21st. Then only we will see what was gonna happen. It's very tricky because when I read the script, and also by just seeing the title on the script, you're like, wow, okay. Because I know the writer Boon Siang before this as well. So the moment I see the title Pendatang, it's like, wow, okay, this is something different from what he has written so far, just by the title itself. And then that got my curiosity to find out like how extreme is this guy gonna go, because he's like very chill guy, very harmless guy. So
but yet the story is so different than the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So upon reading the script, I really salute him for navigating the course so well. Like heavy subjects, but actually to me, to a lot of people who actually watch the film, is that okay? There's nothing for you to worry about. Like it's not like crossing in the night or what. It's just that the premise itself sounds very controversial. But ultimately, like Jim said earlier, it's still a humanity story, universal.
Yep.
Yeah. So on a bigger picture, actually, I'm not too worried. But again, Malaysia, I think is a very interesting place where people can just nitpick something and blow it out of proportion.
Yep.
So So even those people with more experience in tackling sensitive issues, they can't really say.
Yeah.
Like, we have no issue, but I don't know other people out there.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Different opinions lah. Everyone have different opinions. I see.
Yeah. But I mean, we didn't make this film just for the sake of the controversy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. How about for you, Mr. James?
I think this cuts across not just in filmmaking, but any sort of creative efforts or what we do. Whatever decisions we make, okay, at the risk of sounding cliche, can only come from two sources. It can either come from love or come from fear. So whatever decisions we make, like for example, the fear of pushing boundaries. The first thing is look at the fear in the face and say, hey, why do I fear? And why am I pushing boundaries? Is this a boundary I'm pushing for the sake of pushing boundary? Like, I want to be edgy, man. I want to be cool, so I want to push this. So, middle finger to the establishment. That's very self-serving and egocentric. Those kind of boundaries is just self-serving, right? But if it is to create something that truly means something to you and it's true to you, the fear of it not being accepted or fear of it being criticized slowly fades away. Yeah, but if we let that fear take over rather than the love we have for creating this thing, a win, then we'll always restrict ourselves. Right? Sometimes you can't help, because who sets the boundaries?
Yeah.
You do certain things. Whatever you do, somebody will say, like that. You know what?
Yeah.
Those are the people not doing anything. That's why they say that. They have a reason for putting you down, because you remind them of what they are not doing. Right? So if we restrict ourselves or self-censor ourselves or self-limit ourselves because we are afraid of what these people who are not doing these things would say, we are actually undervaluing and we're not being fair to ourselves. So in any art or creativity, like for example, I started off as an auditor, as an accountant. 9 out of 10 people say go and be a financial controller. I'm not in that line, right? So but at the same it comes down to, you have a set of talents, express it, but express it not because you want to prove to others, but because you have this thing you want to create inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and if whatever you create somehow pushes or affects somebody's sensitivity, it was never the intention. So you can navigate that easier. It was never my intention to offend, because I'm telling this story. You can defend it better. But if we go out and purposely want to I want to show you I'm better than you or whatever like that, then it's going to be hard. Then it's the wrong way of doing things. So in a nutshell, the fear of pushing boundaries should not, don't as long as it's not for the sake of ego and pushing boundaries, don't let that restrict you. Just do. If nobody likes, so it's okay. Then you do the next one. Then do the next one. That's how you grow, dude.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
I hope that makes sense, man.
Yeah, it does. Definitely, it does a lot. It's well said, pushing boundaries in that way. I think actually to what I feel, I've also heard this from my lectures as well. If you want to push boundaries, but if you want to push boundaries sebab you nak rasa cool, then no point.
No point.
If you have an intention of telling a story, then it's worth pushing the boundaries. So yeah, it's pretty much well said. So yeah, I think that is all we have the time for our special edition of SLATEIN Podcast. Thank you so much, Mr. Ken. Thank you so much, Mr. James, for coming in and giving a lot of insightful things and motivation to our younger generations lah.
Thank you for the coffee, man.
No problem
Thanks
at
for
all.
having us.
No problem.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us. Seriously, this is really nice.
All right, so that is it. This is the end of the special edition. Hope to see y'all in the next episodes again. And don't forget to check out Pendatang in YouTube on 21st of December.
9 p.m. Jom, everybody watch together and log in at 9 p.m. and simultaneous views, man, on YouTube. Let's set
Definitely.
some sort of
Watch party. If
Yeah.
let's just say this episode comes out after, we will link it down. Is it okay?
Yes,
of
of
course,
course. Of
All right.
course.
So you guys can check out the link of Pendatang probably down here lah. Cheer lah.
Well,
Ada budget ke?
So the URL,
Yeah.
okay, that we're going to embed the YouTube movie on, that
Okay.
you can actually go now. It's live, but it's still work in progress. It's www.pendatangmovie.com.
Okay. So
Yep.
yeah.
Just go there. You see the cast and crew. You see the trailer right now. 9 o'clock, we're going to put in the stream over there. So you can go there, click, boom.
Pendatang.
On the 21st.
On the
21st.
Non 9 p.m. today.
9 p.m. Malaysian time.
Malaysia time. Yeah. All right. So that is all. Thank you so much. See you all in the next episode. Woo.
Right.